her. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Crossroads Hospice Society's first ever virtual Hike for Hospice celebration. My name is Polly Creer, and I am here with my fellow divas, Diana Dilworth.
Good morning.
And Selena Robinson.
Good morning.
We're thrilled to be here, and we have the pleasure of being your MCs today. As you can see this morning, we are mindful to maintain our physical distance as we come together to celebrate this great cause. On behalf of Crossroads Hospice Society, we'd like to thank you all for joining us and spending your Sunday morning with us. And thank you also for having us. We are thrilled to be here. I think most of you may have heard a little bit about the Divas. Somehow, somewhere along the line, somebody tagged us as the Three Divas many, many years ago when these two little people came running up to me with their Blackberries in hand saying they wanted to do an Oscar party.
And it was quite the party.
It was quite the party, and I didn't even know them. I was new to the country and was at a Chamber of Commerce event at the boathouse, and they came up and they said, "We need your help." And I was like, fine, I couldn't even say no, and so began our first
Nobody says no to us.
Not anymore. So began our first Oscar party, and we've kind of lost track of how many years ago that is, but we do know that we have raised well over $80,000, and all of those funds have stayed directly in our community. So we're very proud to be doing that, and we've had a lot of laughs and a lot of fun along the way.
And we've had a lot of connections with Crossroads.
Yes.
I was saying I was a volunteer on the board of directors and a visiting volunteer for 8 years, and had the pleasure of shoveling some dirt when the Inlet Center opened and cutting the ribbon on the labyrinth. And you organized that event.
Yes, one of my very, very first gigs as an event planner was to plan the 20th anniversary party. And that is how I met you. You were on the board at that time. And our very first Oscar party, the funds went to, all of our events are divided between 3 not-for-profits, and the very first funds went to Crossroads Hospice. How did we get you? When's the first time we met?
So I met with Diana. I was Cher's fundraiser, and she donated pies to Cher's very first fundraiser that I organized in 2005. And then Diana and I became friends. I was interested in running for council. She had a wonderful binder about these are all the things you need to do if you want to be a politician.
I mentored the minister.
You did.
And then it was Diana saying, I really want to host a community Oscar party. Wouldn't that be fun? I said, oh, that would be fabulous. We should do it, but we need somebody who understands all the event details. And so that's when our eyes turned to you, Polly. And you came on board. We chased after you with our Blackberries.
They scared me into it.
And
we talked her into running for elected office.
And now
I drank the
politicians.
Kool-Aid, people. I drank the Kool-Aid.
But you still need to do more
I was always
running.
the neutral. I was always the neutral diva, but that has all changed. And Diana did try to give me that binder, that campaign binder, much to my saying, I am not going to knock on doors.
Okay, let's get back to the show here.
I do want to thank Crossroads for inviting us. I know, just like everybody else, we have been in our homes doing the best we can. And staying in contact with our friends using technology, telephone, and missing each other. And so I want to thank Crossroads for inviting us to help them host this virtual hike. And it gave us an opportunity to gather, with physical distance, but also to see each other face to face. And it's been really a tremendous honor to be invited and an opportunity to gather with people. And remember that we are all part of a community. And I just want to say that Crossroads Hospice Society is working hard to adapt to the changing landscape that we all find ourselves living in, and that they're working hard to meet our community's needs in this ever-changing and what can feel very turbulent time. And so before we get any further, I think it's also important on behalf of Crossroads Hospice Society to thank all the frontline and essential workers for their work and what they're doing. They're showing up every day. They are serving our communities. They are serving our loved ones. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our collective diva hearts. We know that your work is important, and I know that everybody in the community knows that as well.
We're going to go off script here just a little bit. Sorry, Jill. She gets very nervous.
But it's a surprise. It's a good surprise.
So we're just going to go off script a little bit. Obviously, we're all here today to raise funds for Hike for Hospice. So the Divas and I, along with Fred Sufi at Pasta Polo, have been known to do Diva dinners where Fred will cook and the Divas will serve the food in your home. We're not able to do that, obviously, because of social distancing. So what we would like to do is offer up a dinner for 6 prepared by Fred at Pasta Polo, delivered to your home by the Divas. Now, if you're doing a virtual dinner party, we can deliver it to up to 3 homes. We'd like it to be in the Tri-Cities if possible. And we're just gonna take a stab at the very first person to make a live donation for $1,000 will be the recipient of our dinner.
And there's usually lots of laughs that come with that.
And wine.
It's more than just the
Wine.
food. And there's never a diva dinner without wine. The W-I-N-E kind, not the W-H-I-N-E kind.
Yeah.
Well, we can still need a couple of wine or two.
We can.
So keep us posted. Yeah. Good luck.
So today was originally supposed to be the annual Hike for Hospice event, and I was trying to remember how many Hike for Hospices there's been, and I should know that.
You should know this.
I should know this. So, looking like most organizations, you're looking to be creative, you're looking to adapt, and what a better idea to actually have a virtual Hike for Hospice. And guess what? You really don't even have to hike. What? You certainly can if you want to, run around your living room a couple times. Thanks to the amazing development officer, Jamie Gion, they moved the entire sort of hike and fundraising options online. We hope everyone is with us this morning. This is the first live stream that Crossroads has been doing, so please be patient with us when we have some glitches, because as we've all been participating in different events, we know that glitches are inevitable. We are so grateful to be here, to be participating, and to raise funds within our community. It's something that the 3 Divas have had together for at least 10 years. It was the purpose in bringing us together, and it's what we want to continue to do for our community, in our community, even in these very unique circumstances. So stay with us, it's going to be fun.
And we have a jam-packed and fun-filled schedule for you this morning. So we hope that you have your Sunday morning pancakes or waffles or French toast or just your coffee. And if you have a little extra something in your coffee, you can enjoy that too. You will get to hear from our guests of honor, our incredible sponsors, jam-packed musical performances from our talented Crossroads musicians. And at the end of the hour, we will be announcing our winners, so stick around to the end. And I want to leave you with just a little visual laugh, a little story. So on Thursday, the Divas gathered together in the Labyrinth. We thought that was very appropriate. And safe. We kept our social distance. We made sure to wear our matching t-shirts so that we could do some promotional either video, photos, to remind everybody about this fabulous event. And when we showed up, we took off jackets and we're talking. And I looked over at my lovely diva, Diana. And I couldn't figure out why on the front of her shirt was this. And I said to her, Diana, why do you have your shirt on backwards? To which she responded, well, now I understand why it was choking me. And with that, I will pass it over to Polly.
Always a dig at Diva Diana, eh?
Well, you have to stop doing those things. we tease because we love, and we also want to say that she was so quick to pull her sleeves out and spin that shirt around that we could not even get a video of it. Otherwise, that would have been plastered all over the place.
I love you guys too.
I know it. We do have some fun. All right, we are going to start off with our first guest appearances. For over 31 years, Crossroads Hospice Society has had the honor of serving the communities of Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam, Port Moody, Anmore, and Belcarra. The support received from these communities is integral for Crossroads to continue to provide the compassionate care for people with life-limiting illness and grief support for their families. Crossroads is so very grateful for the love of our communities. We will be going to a video, but prior to that, I just received a text message from my mayor, who was unable to be a part of the video as he was tied up with other things. So he just wanted me to send along this little message from all of you. Mayor John McEwen is mentioning that he is so glad to see people out supporting our local community during these challenging times. It's rewarding seeing people put so much energy into assisting others. Volunteering compassion is truly what makes the Tri-Cities such an amazing community to be a part of. Thank you again to all the amazing volunteers. Now we have a video to show you. I haven't seen the video. We have not seen the video. However, we've been hearing that each of our mayors are looking at different weather channels as they prepared for their speeches. So I have no idea what to expect, but without further ado, please welcome our first guests of honors. We are excited to have Mayor Rob Vagramoff from Port Moody, Mayor Richard Stewart from Coquitlam, and Mayor Brad West from Port Coquitlam, joining us today with encouraging video messages.
Hey everybody, Mayor Rob here at City Hall in Port Moody. As you can see behind me, the weather is absolutely perfect for a hike, but unfortunately, because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Hike for Hospice is happening virtually this year. So on behalf of the City of Port Moody, City Council, and I guess our city staff as well, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Hike for Hospice event for 2020. I wish everybody the best of luck. And of course, our hearts go out to our frontline workers, both working in a healthcare like hospice and other healthcare sectors, as well as all frontline workers across the entire economy who are working to keep us safe and as productive as possible during this crazy time. So I want to welcome everybody and thank you so much for your continued support for Hike for Hospice.
Hi, Coquitlam Mayor Richard Stewart here, and I'm here to support the virtual Hike for Hospice on Sunday, May 3rd. Crossroads Hospice Society is an incredible organization that we tremendously value here in Coquitlam and across the Tri-Cities for all of the work it does with grieving families. But this year we've had to adapt the Hike for Hospice. It's now a virtual hike. We ask you to please sign in on Sunday, May 3rd and participate anyway and continue to support this important organization for all the work that it does for our community and for families that are grieving. Hike for Hospice.
Hello everyone, it's Mayor Brad West. On behalf of the City of Port Coquitlam, I want to extend my best wishes to everyone participating in the Crossroads Hospice Society virtual Hike for Hospice. This is a real challenging time for all of us, but it's important that we continue to find ways to come together. And what better way to come together than to raise funds for the Crossroads Hospice Society, an organization that so many of us depend on in our community and that provides so much comfort and support to people in the Tri-Cities. I want to thank all of you for participating. I know this usually happens in our city and we're really proud that it does. We look forward to having it in Port Coquitlam again. Thank you so much for all of the hard work that the volunteers of the Crossroads Hospice Society put into this event. Thank you for participating in it. It's great to support Crossroads Hospice Society, and I hope everyone has a wonderful time participating in this virtual Hike for Hospice.
Career limiting.
Okay.
Thank you, mayors. We also have received a statement from Mayor Neil Belinkie from the Village of Belcarra in support of the virtual Hike for Hospice. Neil has sent this message. On behalf of Belcarra, I would like to welcome attendees to the virtual Hike for Hospice and thank you for their support of Crossroads Hospice Society. It is fortunate that in most trying times, we become aware of our greatest strengths. The residents of the Tri-Cities, Anmore, and Belcarra make our region proud with selfless acts of support, of generosity. Together, we truly are stronger. Thank you again for all that you do. I think I should also mention, I'm not sure if everyone knows that Diana is a counselor in the city of Port Moody.
20 years.
Yes. Most of you probably know Selena Robinson as our Minister of Public Affairs and Housing.
Municipal Affairs and Housing.
Formerly
City
Council for Coquitlam, MLA, Coquitlam-Margaretville.
Very good.
Boom. And I am a first-term counselor in the village of Anmore.
We got the Tri-Cities covered.
We got it covered. We did not get to see the videos of the mayor speaking, so we'll be interested to hear the weather report. I don't know. So, thank you, mayors.
So our virtual Hike for Hospice provides everyone an opportunity to still come together in these challenging times. We are so inspired by the virtual walks you've held in honor of your loved ones. And I know we miss actually being in person. I've been involved in these walks going back so many years, and the emotion and the compassion and the support and the energy that everybody brings to these walks it makes it one of my most favorite events of the year. So I understand how frustrated you might be this year not being able to get out in your teams together and be a part of the energy that happens as we raise funds. So Hike for Hospice has been a great fundraising initiative, and we hope that it has helped you and your family and your friends to stay active, healthy, and safe in the comfort of your own home this year. Remember, you can just walk around your living room a couple of times. I actually have my treadmill in front of my TV, and my new rule now is if I'm watching TV, I actually have to be on the treadmill. There may be coffee or wine in the cup holder, but you know what? I'm getting those steps in and staying healthy. So we're going to get back to thanking you for submitting your virtual journeys with us. Whether it was hopping on your elliptical, treadmill, stationary bike, Wii dance parties, running up and down the stairs, turning on your favorite YouTube workout, or having a dance party in your living room, we are excited to see your participation. So with your video submissions, we were able to create and share our campaign video. We want to play it for you now.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for all of your hard work in helping us put together that little video compilation. So next we want to introduce you to our virtual Hike for Hospice presenting sponsor with Phoenix Truck and Crane. And I wanted to speak to this part. I had to fight the other divas off because I have had tremendous personal experience with Bill Dick and his Phoenix Truck and Crane family over the years, and have witnessed their compassion for this community, their commitment to this community, and their generosity to this community. And they became the presenting sponsor for Hike for Hospice in 2017. And this year, the Crossroads Hospice Society is beyond grateful for their generosity and their support to have to revamp this entire program, this entire hike into a virtual program has been significant. As a result of their commitment to return as a presenting sponsor, Crossroads Hospice Society was able to move forward with a new concept and to also remain optimistic that they could reach their fundraising goals. Phoenix Trucking and Crane supports so many different organizations in this community, and I would list them all, but I'm worried I would forget because sometimes we don't even know about their generosity. And Bill Dick has absolutely been on the forefront. He absolutely, whenever there is a call for help, a plea for anything, whether it's kids or seniors or healthcare or counseling or whatever it is, a food bank, Bill is often the first one to step in and say, I've got some money for you. And so from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of all the divas, on behalf of the Crossroads Hospice Society,
Give a round of applause
I
for
think
Bill.
we should give a round of applause to Bill.
And Steve.
Thanks, Bill. I love you.
Thank you everyone for having me as one of your guests today. I'm Laura Covina, President and GM of Phoenix Truck and Crane, and I'm so honored to be here, well, virtually anyway. For almost 30 years now, Phoenix Truck and Crane has been an integral part of the Tri-Cities community, and now more than ever, we know that we need to keep helping and supporting each other. We obviously don't know what tomorrow holds, and every day is a new day. But what we are certain about is the pride we feel to be working and living in this area. Demonstrating leadership in regard to social responsibility and getting involved in organizations like Crossroads Hospice Society has been anchored by the founder of Phoenix. And while we are still very much committed to supporting our local community, our dedication since the pandemic has extended beyond that. Phoenix, as an essential service provider, had to step up in ways that we never thought we'd have to. And first, we had to implement the strictest sanitation measures possible and to protect our truck drivers and crane operators, which allow them to keep going and reduce risk. We're so proud of our people and are thankful day after day our truck drivers continue to put on their PPE and put themselves at risk to keep serving our society. Since it all began, there have been many heartwarming moments, many challenges, but most importantly, a lot of gratifying tasks, like helping out their provincial government to turn the Vancouver Convention Centre West into a temporary hospital. They needed trucks, and we have them. Like most Canadian and businesses, Phoenix also had to adjust its operations and way of doing things. So we created as many remote working opportunities for our office staff as possible. I would think that, like me, you are finding this difficult. I miss having my people around me, I miss my daily visit to each department, and I miss the jokes, the laughter, sharing meals, but this is bigger than anything, and we all have an important part to play. Thanks to the creative world of today and the recent acquisition of cutting-edge technology, Phoenix is able to remain open and service our region 24/7. So if you know of someone or think that you could use some of our delivery services, please contact us. We are all in this together, and self-isolation and social distancing does not mean that we can't help each other with the essentials. Enough about us. Let's remember why we are gathering virtually today and why we thought it vital to come back again this year. Crossroads Hospice is the Tri-Cities Hospice, and like Phoenix, it's been serving our families for years. Being able to provide our residents with a safe place to let their loved one go is essential, and more so today. Deciding what's important and what really to do when your special person is reaching the end of their life is essential, emotional, intense, and overwhelming. That's why a place like Crossroads must keep going, and that the caregivers must be recognized and cared for. Well done, Crossroads team, for revamping their annual event and we might not be able to physically be with each other, but we do come together to make this a success and remind ourselves Crossroads Hospice dedication and hard work. Huge kudos to everyone in front and behind the scenes of hospice. You're doing a tremendous job. Phoenix Truck and Crane has always believed in supporting worthy charitable causes like Crossroads, as well as responding to urgent demands or challenges. And we wouldn't want to be anywhere else today, so thank you for including us again. Thank you everyone for being here today, and I can't wait to walk with you all again next year.
All right. Well, thank you again so much, Phoenix Truck and Crane. The entire community is grateful for your support in everything that we do, and the people here at Crossroads Hospice and your support for Hike for Hospice are certainly welcome, and there's tremendous gratitude from everybody for your ongoing support. And I want to remind everybody who's watching today that if you donate Hike for, the number 4, hike4hospice.ca is where you can make your contributions. And remember, the first person to donate $1,000 will get dinner for 6 delivered by the Divas, and that's a 3-course dinner made by Pasta Polo, and there is wine that is part of the package. So be sure to be the first one to get in on that. Over to you, Polly.
Thank you, Selena. And also I would like to say a shout out of thanks to Bill and his team at Phoenix Truck and Crane. They are amazing community supporters. Amazing. So up next, it's time for some entertainment. We have a special musical treat. We want to introduce to you the one and only Sue Malcolm. Sue has been a part of Crossroads Hospice for as long as I have been around, and she has been performing country, folk, bluegrass, and western swing for over 30 years. She is a talented singer and guitarist with a warm personality, which I can attest to, and she can engage and entertain any audience. Since 2006, Sue has coordinated the Crossroads Hospice Visiting Musician Program. The program consists of 1-hour solo performances in the hospice's great room on Wednesdays and Sundays. They have a group of 6 professionals, including Sue, who perform a wide variety of music, and they offer something for everyone's taste. When Sue is singing at the hospice, she brings along Oscar, her beagle, who is a certified therapy dog. The music entertains and uplifts the patients, their families and friends, staff, and volunteers. It's not strictly music therapy in the clinical definition, but the music is therapeutic to all. Music has a way of lifting hearts and bringing people together, and we are so lucky to have her perform for you today. She will be performing Walkin' on the Moon by Tom Russell. Take it away, Sue.
I met
And Kristen.
Thank you, Sue. That was just so amazing. The work that you do and that you bring to the Inlet Center, Crossroads Hospice, is so meaningful and so valued by the families that are there. I've had the opportunity to be in Crossroads when you have brought your amazing skills, and I and everybody there certainly appreciate your ongoing contributions to Crossroads. So next, we are going to introduce and welcome our gold sponsors for this year's Hike for Hospice.
Emily.
Oh,
Emily, who's our adult bereavement coordinator.
Oh my gosh, this is one of those glitches that we talked about.
We have to watch her all the time.
So I was thanking Sue, and next we're going to be introducing Emily. That's where I was going with this, you guys.
You better get rid of this. So
We're
close.
rushing.
Next we're going to be hearing from Emily, who is our adult bereavement coordinator. Emily.
Bonjour everyone, I'm Amelie, Adult Bereavement Services Coordinator for Crossroads Hospice Society. Thank you so much for joining us today and for your wonderful support with our annual Hike for Hospice. I wanted to hop in to let you know that I'm still providing support in these difficult times. Currently, I'm providing emotional support through the phone or video conferencing. Our services are available to adults living in the Tri-Cities and more in Belcarra, and the services are free of charge. So if you find yourself struggling with the death of a loved one, or you know someone, don't hesitate to give me a call. Thank you everyone, and have a great day.
Gold sponsors.
Thank you, Emily. And now this is where we get to our gold sponsors for the hike this year. We're going to welcome and introduce gold sponsors, Jay Dargis and his team over at CanStar Restoration, and the team at Dignity Memorial Ocean View and Forest Lawn Funeral Homes. CanStar Restorations has supported Crossroads Hospice Society since 2008. With 3 locations, they provide 24/7 emergency response, quality-controlled, full-service fire and water damage restoration for any size of commercial or residential disaster. CanStar's staff provide amazing services, including expert water and sewage extraction, sophisticated mobile structural drawing, professional vandalism and storm board-ups and restoration, as well as so much more. And they throw an amazing Lobster Fest party too every year in September. Unfortunately, we're probably going to miss it this September. How can you do a Lobster Fest virtually? That's something for Jay and Velvet to think about. So, welcome CanStar Restorations.
Hello hikers, have a great time wherever you may be hiking today. My name is Jay Dargats, I'm with CanStar Restorations. And my first experience with Crossroads was 18 years ago when a friend of mine's 32-year-old daughter was a patient at Crossroads and spent her final days there. I was able to witness the incredible care and compassion provided by the staff and volunteers at Crossroads for the patients and their families. It convinced me to be a supporter, and we've been a supporter ever since, wherever and whenever we can. So I'd like you to join us in hiking for hospice wherever you may be able to hike, whether it's in your home, your backyard, or streets or trails near your home. Have a great time. Enjoy the event and support the cause. Thank you.
At CanStar, we work with fire and flood emergency services. We help people who have had a fire or a flood, and we work to restore their possessions back to their pre-loss condition.
If you're looking for something that is ever-changing and challenging in your day-to-day work role, the restoration industry is great because not every day is the same.
Sometimes we have fire losses, sometimes we have water losses, sometimes we have wind damage from trees falling on homes. So that variety is very much enjoyable about the industry.
I think everyone wants to work alongside good people. We spend a lot of time recruiting good people, training good people, putting them in roles where they can succeed.
My journey at CanStar started off as a flood technician in the emergency services department and slowly moving up to a lead technician, all the way now to being a site supervisor where I currently am.
I started out as a junior flood technician and now I've moved my way up to a flood technician.
I am a project demand coordinator. Previously I was a junior project demand coordinator and I have been here for 6 months. The staff and the atmosphere is absolutely very welcoming. You don't feel like an outsider from right when you come walking through the door for your first interview. It's, you know, they want to get to know you, they want to see where your strengths are and how they can help you succeed in your position.
Everyone's focused on the same thing, coming across professionally, doing a good job, and proud of the company that they represent.
I love working at CanStar Restorations because of the people. Everybody is friendly, professional, and takes pride in what they do, helping people recover after a disaster. One of our values is our team, which involves helping our community. And I'm proud that CanStar Restorations is the official restoration company of the BCSBCA.
What I enjoy most about working at CanStar is very family-oriented. I spend a lot of time with my coworkers, almost more time than I do with my family. So you get to know people quite well, and I enjoy that quite a bit about CanStar.
My journey has been absolutely fantastic. Right from my first interview, I knew this was a great opportunity for me, and it definitely has not let me down.
Working for a small company, it's nice for one family to help another family.
All right, well, thank you so much, CanStar. And moving along to our next gold sponsor, we have Forest Lawn and Ocean View Funeral Homes, and they have supported Crossroads Hospice Society since 2008. As North America's largest provider of funeral, cremation, and cemetery services, the Dignity Memorial Network is the name families turn to for compassionate and professional final arrangements. Dignity Memorial providers care for more than 500,000 families each year and understand the importance of thoughtful, personalized, and compassionate arrangements. Forest Lawn and Ocean View Funeral Homes provide access to exclusive benefits as well as professional funeral arrangements and burial services. Thank you, Dignity Memorial. Sorry. We're having a little bit of a glitch.
Thank you, CanStar and Dignity Memorial. We are so grateful for your endless support and can't wait until next year when we can reunite and hike together. Going off script again, but I have some great news. I just received a text message from Heidi Madrell, who is the Vice President of the Port Moody Foundation, and she has this message. On behalf of the Port Moody Foundation and in recognition of their long years of dedicated service to our community, we would like to pre-approve Crossroads Hospice Society with a $2,000 grant. In addition, we look forward to continuing our strong support of their important work throughout the life of the Port Moody COVID-19 Community Response Fund.
Nice work.
Thank you very much, Port Moody Foundation. That's amazing. We appreciate it. All right.
Back to script.
Back to script. Our next talented musician is Al Foreman. Al has been a respected presence on the Vancouver music scene for more than 5 decades. He is the king of blues, jazz, and rhythm, and the keyboard. Al is a dedicated community supporter and a Crossroads Hospice musician. He will be performing his original song called Self-Isolation Blues. Welcome, Al.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Hello out there in video land. My name is Al Foreman. Got a little tune for you called the Self-Isolation Blues. We're at war with the virus. It's a war we gotta win. We're changing your routine, man. That's the way it could begin. Stay at home. Please, everybody, stay at home. We got to defeat this virus. It's a war we just got to win. Now the people on the front lines, they got a battle plan. You can help the situation, lend a helping hand by staying home. Oh, that's what they want you to do. We gotta defeat the virus. Man, they're depending on you. The doctors and the nurses and the healthcare workers, they deserve a standing ovation. They've been working day and night trying to save our life. They need your cooperation. So keep your social distance, shelter in place. We're all in this together. You can help the human race. Just stay home. Please, everybody, stay home. 'Cause we're at war with this virus. You do what you need to do. Now all around the world, people just like you, getting used to self-isolation. The damn coronavirus might be giving you the blues, but you still got communication. So call your friends and neighbors, call your family too. Call upon your inner strength to see this through. And Dr. Bonnie Henry, she's got the best advice. You got to pay attention, man, don't think twice, just stay at home. Oh, everybody, please stay home. 'Cause we're at war with this virus. We can't let it win. We beat viruses before we can beat them again. I'll defeat this little virus. Man, that's what we got to do. Thank you.
That was amazing, Al. Thank you so much. I mean, we've had some great performances so far today. And I think that just helps bring up our spirits at this time when we need it most. We're going to turn a little bit now and get back to hearing from some of the amazing staff that work at Crossroads Hospice. Brittany is our Youth Young Adult Bereavement Coordinator and one of the great team members. We're going to turn it over to Brittany.
everyone. Thanks for joining us today and for all your support for our first ever virtual Hike for Hospice. My name is Brittany and I'm the Youth and Young Adult Bereavement Coordinator here at Crossroads Hospice Society. So my role is to provide free grief and loss support for any teens 13 to 18 and young adults ages 19 to 25 that are grieving the loss of a loved one. So right now in these times, I'm still providing support. It's through text, through phone calls, and through video conferencing. So if you are between the ages of 13 to 25 or know anyone that is and would like some grief and loss support, please feel free to contact us and reach out. I hope you all take care and have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Look at you! I know. Thank you, Brittany. I hope everybody's learning as much more about hospice as I am, hearing from the staff members who are working as first responders and working with patients and clients. So next up, we want to send a great big shout out and a great big thank you to all of the event sponsors. We couldn't actually do any of this without the funders and the volunteers that are helping us out here today. We are so grateful to our media sponsors. We have the Tri-City News and Global BC for helping raise awareness for our newly revamped event and for getting our event and message out across the province. We want to thank our bronze sponsors, Fast Signs for our awesome banners and signs, Minuteman Press Tri-Cities for our printed materials and all of our event printing needs. Big shout out to Westminster Savings and Pacific Coast Terminals for their continued support year after year. And thank you to Rob Farron Web Design for our beautiful and detailed event website. And we know that you guys have all gone through Hike 4, the number 4, hospice.ca. We have a couple community sponsors that we need to shout out and say thank you to. Envision Financial, Kintec Footwear and Orthotics, G&F Financial Group, and Drysdale Bacon McStravick LLP Lawyers. Thank you to our video sponsor, Photography by Rachel Lung, for helping us with our live stream production. We now get to hear from Andrea at Pacific Coast Terminals. Hi, Andrea. Please welcome Andrea.
Good morning, virtual hikers. My name is Andrea and I work at Pacific Coast Terminals. We are very proud to support Crossroads Hospice Society and the Hike for Hospice. As a local business, it is important to us that we make a positive contribution to healthcare and the well-being of our community. We've been able to see firsthand the amazing work that Crossroads does in our area. Their team of volunteers selflessly give their time to help so many people navigate the immense sadness associated with grief and loss. This is an organization that provides individualized, compassionate care to so many patients, and they take the time to really understand the needs of each and every person that looks to them for resources and support. We are looking forward to continued partnership with such an amazing organization. We're really sad that the hike did not go ahead as planned this year, but we look forward to seeing you next year on the Hike for Hospice.
Thank you, Andrea. And please welcome back to the celebration Sue Malcolm for another magical music performance. And we just were reading the script and saying she's going to be singing You've Got a Friend by Carole King, and it's one that makes all of us weep. So please enjoy Sue Malcolm singing You've Got a Friend by Carole King.
When you're down in trouble and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me. Soon I will got a friend. If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together, call my name out loud. Soon you'll hear me knocking at your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You got a friend. Now ain't it good to know that you got a friend? When people can be so cold, they'll hurt you, yes, and desert you, and take your soul if you let them. Oh, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You got a friend. Oh yeah, you got a friend. Ain't it good to know you got a friend? Ain't it good to know you got a friend? Thank you for supporting the Crossroads Hospice. Bye for now.
Word again.
You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Isn't that lovely?
I love that song.
Thank you so
I love
much,
it when
Sue. We
sings
love that song, and we all broke out into song here as we were, talking about the script, talking about the good work that you're all doing, making the donations to the Crossroads Hospice, knowing that Crossroads Hospice Society is here for you because you've got a friend in Crossroads Hospice. So we want to support them today with your generous contributions. And I want to say, Sue, Crossroads is so lucky to have you. Now we would like to welcome John Adams. John is a commercial account manager at Royal Bank of Canada and a longtime supporter for Crossroads Hospice Society. We are honored to connect with him today as he will be sharing with us his personal Crossroads experience and journey. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Divas. The Hike for Hospice is one of my favorite events of the year. I will dearly miss seeing the Crossroads family, as well as my many colleagues, extended family members, and friends who participate in the hike annually. But I am grateful that we can still come together for this virtual hike. My name is John Adams, and these are my special hikers, Hayden and Mackenzie.
Hi.
I've had the privilege of being involved with Crossroads Hospice for 15 years, including serving as a volunteer site coordinator for the Hike for Hospice when we used to operate out of 2 locations. I've also organized many Crossroads fundraising efforts and volunteer projects with my RBC colleagues. I've been the captain of Team RBC for the annual Hike for Hospice event, and I proudly served 2 terms on the Crossroads Hospice Board of Directors. My years of service to Crossroads has given me the inside look at how passionate, dedicated, and caring the staff and volunteers are at Crossroads. But it was in August of 2014 when my family and I gained firsthand experience of how amazing the care and dignity Crossroads gives to those who are in their final weeks and days of life. It was then that I learned how Crossroads support and service makes a difference to the families who are dealing with loss of a loved one. My father, Tom Adams, was in a 15-year battle with cancer, and in 2014 it was back aggressively. Unlike previous fights, this time it was causing him unbearable pain, and his quality of life was fast deteriorating. We were also proud of his perseverance and will to live, but knew that the end was nearing. So when the doctors suggested end-of-life care, he was ready, and so was our family. Our experience at Crossroads was so wonderful. The staff and volunteers were so kind to him, and they went out of their way to make him feel comfortable and help preserve his dignity. They were also so supportive and caring of our visiting family and friends. Crossroads Inlet Center is a special place, a place where we gather, a place where the entire extended family can support one another going through the difficult time of losing a loved one. Instead of gathering in a hospital hallway or waiting room, we were in the intimate space of my dad's private room. Inlet Center also has many other great spaces to come together when dealing with the reality of losing your loved one. The Crossroads experience was a different experience, which also allowed us to better accept what was soon coming. Less than a week after my dad's arrival, while surrounded by loved ones, my dad took his last breath. We were given as much time as we needed to be with him for our final goodbyes. The on-duty volunteers and staff performed a beautiful quilt ceremony, displaying his name and lighting a candle in his honor. Our Crossroads experience helped ease into the grieving process and better support one another. The Crossroads team also continued to reach out with love to offer support to our family. While preparing my dad's headstone, we had been presented with hundreds, if not thousands, of images we could include. We were so touched by the wonderful experience we had with Crossroads that our family decided to include a dragonfly on his headstone. We not only thank Crossroads for their amazing support and service in our greatest time of need, but we also thank them for this, the Hike for Hospice. Each May, our family continues the annual tradition of walking as Tom's dragonflies. This is how we continue to celebrate my dad while coming together in his memory. It also allows us to give thanks to Crossroads for what they did for us and what they continue to do for our community. As a past board member, longtime volunteer, and family member that has personally benefited from the services offered by hospice, I had the opportunity to deeply appreciate the significant impact Crossroads has on families and on our greater community. Thank you to the volunteers and staff members of Crossroads Hospice for your caring and dedicated support. And thank you to all of you who are participating today in this virtual Hike for Hospice and generously supporting Crossroads Hospice Society. Back to you, divas. Bye.
Hi, John. Thank you. One of the side effects of living in social isolation and working from home is you get to see everybody's personal spaces, whether it's a bedroom or a living room or an office, and we get to see new coworkers. We loved your little helpers you had there, John. Thank you. So we have another very special guest of honor coming up, and it's the chair of the board of directors, Alice Hale. We are so lucky to have her here today, and I know she's going to talk a little bit more about the great staff team and the volunteers that help out with Crossroads Hospice all year long. Alice.
Hello everyone, my name is Alice Hale and I'm the chair of the Crossroads Hospice Society Board. I hope that you and your families are staying healthy and safe. I want to thank you for your continuing support of Crossroads during these challenging times and for participating in our first ever virtual Hike for Hospice event. A quick word about our board. We are 11 volunteer board directors coming from various backgrounds and experience, and we oversee the activities of the society to ensure that everything we do is in the best interests of Crossroads. Indeed, Crossroads is very fortunate to have so many talented, dedicated, and passionate volunteers and staff involved in our thrift store, our hospice, our programs, and our various fundraising events. I can tell you that your donation to Hike for Hospice is most appreciated, especially at this difficult time when, like so many other nonprofits, our usual sources of funding are limited. For example, our thrift store, which is an important source of revenue for the Society, remains closed until further notice. Your donation will go a long ways towards funding various initiatives and programs, including our Grief and Loss program for adults and youth, which we continue to offer on a virtual basis. All of these activities allow us to continue to provide the quality, compassionate care that Crossroads is known for to people with life-limiting illness, as well as support to those grieving the loss of a loved one. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice, and thank you to the entire Board of Directors team for their continued guidance and leadership. Next up, we are very excited to welcome our last guest of honor this morning, Sylvie Jensen, Palliative Support Services and Site Manager for the Crossroads Inlet Center. Over to you.
Hi everyone, thank you for being with us today. My name is Sylvie Jensen and I have the privilege of being the site manager for Crossroads Hospice. I'm responsible for the non-medical support and services, including kitchen and housekeeping operations, and I'm also responsible for our wonderful hospice volunteers and volunteer programs. During these unusual times, hospice is restricted to staff providing essential services only. Our care team from Fraser Health, our nurses and doctors keep on providing excellent care to our hospice patients. Our direct service staff from Crossroads Hospice Society, our cooks and housekeeping staff are doing a great job of providing good food and keeping our hospice safe and clean. And our admin staff is helping in housekeeping and kitchen and grocery shopping and is providing support, emotional support to family members when needed. Compassionate care is what we do best. Someone said to me once that we're like a warm blanket, giving warmth and comfort. I like that. Crossroads Hospice Society relies on donations from the community to support our mission of dignity, comfort, and compassion. Hike for Hospice is an important event for us, and with your support and generosity, we can continue providing the best compassionate care to our hospice patients and their families. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your support.
Thank you so much, Sylvie and team, for your dedication and hard work. Now we've reached the moment where you've all been waiting for. It's time to give out some prizes. Yay! We've done it. We have 4 categories to announce. First category is the top fundraising team, which will be done by Diana. The second is the top fundraising virtual hiker, which will be Diva Selena. The third one is a randomly selected virtual hiker, which I will announce. And lastly, we have 2 randomly selected lucky winners from our Facebook giveaway. So, without further ado,
do you want to just double check yours, Diana? Because mine says top virtual fundraising team. What does yours say?
Top fundraising virtual hiker.
There you go.
We need
okay. Yes. Here we go. Drum roll. The top virtual fundraising team is Tom's Dragonflies.
Okay, and next, our top fundraising virtual hiker prize goes to none other than Angela Collins. Angela!
Okay, and I get the honor of announcing the virtual hiker, random virtual hiker. It goes to Angie Manville.
And we have 2 lucky giveaway winners. So I'm just going to tell you both of them. Drum roll, please. In the back. Here we have Manaz Shirazi. Yay! And Kathy Wilson. Congratulations.
back to me, I believe, here.
Back to you.
All right, we are in awe of your virtual fundraising efforts. Every share and every family and friends you reached out to truly made a positive impact in helping us reach our fundraising goal for hospice. We will be reaching out early next week to give you more information on how you can collect your prizes.
And thanks once again to our presenting sponsor, Phoenix Truck and Crane, for their hike sponsorship. But for also everything that they do to support and care for and frankly love our community. To the tremendous team at Hospice, thank you for your dedication to service. Everyone has had to adapt to a new virtual reality of reaching out. The staff have been incredibly flexible and adapting quickly with the changing times. Inlet Center continues to provide a warm and caring environment for our patients and for their loved ones. And a special thanks to all of the Hospice Inlet staff and to the Fraser Health team, who provide this supportive environment every day despite the coronavirus. Our families and our loved ones are lucky to have all of you. Thank you.
Ladies, we have $1,000. Welcome Miss Jill to come over and announce who it is. We're gonna dun, dun, dun,
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yay!
Jill.
Hello. So, for now, what is this lucky person
Dinner.
Dinner
for
for
six.
Uh-huh.
Salad, take and bake pasta, dessert delivered to their home, and wine, always wine when the divas are involved,
Yes.
delivered to their home or
Yes.
homes if they want to do a virtual dinner party.
Perfect. And so, here's the lucky winner.
Oh, we love Jim right All right, Jim, we will be in touch to make arrangements for your dinner. Very exciting. Thank you. All right. I just need to mention that was Jill Cook, the acting executive director for Crossroads Hospice Society. Many of you know Jill. She has been around and about in the community for many, many, many years. And I have to give just a personal thank you to Jill because she really got me started on my career as an event planner in the Tri-Cities. When I moved here in 2005, she was the executive director of the Tri-Cities Chamber of Commerce. And her, along with my very good friend Rhonda Doig, brought me in to do some events. And I was like, I'm not an event planner. And Rhonda's like, yes, you are. You can do it. I'll help you. So it turned out to be a pretty good ask.
Best thing we ever did.
Best thing that ever happened to me. So I owe a very, very huge debt of gratitude to Jill and also Rhonda for really setting me on this path that has brought me here with my fellow divas, which they bring me so much joy and frustration, but mostly joy.
That's mostly Diana.
Truth. Yeah. Guilty?
Guilty.
Okay. I also want to give a very big shout out to the special events coordinator here at Crossroads Hospice, Shelley Pennington. She is amazing. I have had the opportunity to work with her on many other events doing support as she's been here for how long now? She's quite some time.
Overall about 10 years.
Yeah.
She chaired treasures and then she came on as staff.
That was when I first met her. She's amazing and Crossroads is very lucky to have her, and we thank you, Shelley. Also want to give a nod to Jamie, who is what is your title, Jamie?
Development Officer.
Development Officer, very new to this position and thrown in head first into the first ever virtual Hike for Hospice. And she's been producing this show and she's doing an amazing job. It's just been a few scant months since she's been here, but she has a creative and infectious energy, which we've all witnessed while we've been here today. And she is the force behind this live stream.
Well done, Jim.
Very lucky to have her. Very lucky to have her. We appreciate everything that you're doing. That's it. I'm going to turn it over to Diana, my fellow diva, in her mask.
In my mask, and we have to give another shout out and thank you. The Port Moody Seniors Friendship Center, and I know Brenda Miller has been involved in this, has been preparing masks for Crossroads Hospice staff, volunteers, and we were having this discussion earlier. These guys call me the real diva, and I guess this is proving it. When you have a mask, do you wear lipstick on the inside, the indelible kind, and
this is her biggest concern. This is all we've been talking about since the pandemic started. She's so worried about her lipstick. And you don't even see it. My glasses are fogging up. Did you guys read that too? Oh, nice. Thank you. No, we're very appreciative of these.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Port Moody's Senior Friendship Center, which actually co-locates its space with the hospice, the 10-bed hospice in Port Moody. So this is the wrap up, my ladies, and I want to say a few personal words about Crossroads Hospice. I think we all have deep roots and we're all connected in some way, but having personally been involved for over 10 years now, and working with families and staff as they go through the grieving process, I can tell you I have laughed and cried and shared some amazing stories with families that have experienced time at Crossroads. And we as Divas are so honored to be invited to be a part of this today, because we know that Crossroads Hospice has made some very good friends and does amazing work within the municipalities of Port Moody, Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam, Anmore, and Belcarra. It has roots throughout the Tri-Cities. So I want to let you guys know that your donations and funds are already being put to work, providing care and comfort for patients and families. If you haven't had the chance to donate yet or to support, don't worry. The Hike for Hospice webpage is going to be open right through the end of the summer. So if you have a moment, if you feel that you can have some time to contribute financially, it would be making a huge difference for Crossroads. So thank you for spending your morning with us. We hope you found it as entertaining and educational and fun as we have. Stay safe, be kind, and have an amazing rest of your weekend. Thank you for being here with us.
Bye. Bye. Thanks, everyone.